I am not in the business of writing a play where the lights come up on a room and the lights stay the same all the way through the play and the room stays the same and 2 or 3 people talk and have an argument or whatever it might be. I can't do that. I write plays which tend to have lots of what I call suddenlies, where the action is changing, or as a new character coming on, there's a lighting cue here, there's a sound cue there, there's a music cue there. It's quite busy, and what I'm trying to do is I'm challenging that child to stay with me. I'm saying, don't get bored, because I'm interesting you. This story is going to be really good. But in order to do that, you have to put these lots of suddenlies in. Now, some people say that it would be quite good to do that in a grown-up play as well. Because, it is true to say, says he controversially, that quite a lot of adult plays, they could really be done on the radio, and they might just as well have the same effect, because it is just 2 or 3 heads talking, really, people chatting and doing things. There isn't much theatricality within it. Whereas I think in a children's play, we can be extremely theatrical, and that involves the costumes perhaps, and it involves the sets, and the use of music, the use of mime, the use of puppetry, the use of magic, all these things. Now, this can be daunting to a producer, but I'm afraid there isn't necessarily an easy way out. I mean, I'm not saying that it has to be done in the most spectacular way, because most of the plays are either based on stories, or some of them are my own stories, but based on stories which are very strong, and the stories do the work for you to a certain extent. And I've seen so many productions of my plays done in so many different ways, and that's very exciting, because there isn't just one way to do them. I remember The Gingerbread Man, which is one of my longest running plays over the years, which is set on a Welsh dresser, thing with shelves and with giant big plates. The good thing about it is that it's one basic set, that nothing has to come on. This was because it was written for a theatre that had no wing space and you couldn't fly, and they could only afford 6 in the cast. So I wrote a play to fit that. And so this giant dresser with these characters like a salt pot on a pepper pot, and a tea bag, who's a rather nasty tea bag, who lives up on the top shelf in a teapot. They are very theatrical, but it's not totally difficult to do. You've got to make a set that looks like it. But I remember there was one production where they wrote to me and they said, our stage isn't high enough to have a second shelf. So the gingerbread man isn't going to go up onto the top shelf to steal the honey and get attacked by the tea bag. What we're going to do is the radio, which is on the bottom shelf, we can do that. So we're going to put the teapot on top of the radio, and the gingerbread man will have to go. They made it work. They found a way around it, and the audience seemed to enjoy it very much. They are challenging. I think they are challenging, and some people are very surprised because they wrongly think that if you're doing something for children, it's going to be easy peasy and a bit, lightweight. That, I'm afraid, isn't always the case. I hope that people aren't put off, and I hope that they look and they can see that, yes, actually we can do this, and yes, it's not too difficult.